Alright, so this video, like I mentioned previously, we're gonna skin the mesh to the bones. In this part, I'm gonna just hide the controllers, right? I'm gonna hold shift and click in the box. That way I expand all. I'm gonna just grab the mesh and all the bones, make sure this is all blue, right? All of it. Do exactly like this, okay? Then we're gonna go to the skin, bind skin, option box. So we're gonna have joint hierarchy, geodesic voxel, weighted blend, interactive, distance, click, max influences, set this to 4, and click, 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 resolution 1024, right? This should be clicked by default, this should be default, apply and close. This is going to take about a couple of minutes. So I'm going to pause the video and let the computer process it all. Alright, so it's done processing, right? I'm going to turn, you know what, I'll leave it like that. So I can click on the mesh, and you'll notice here, skin cluster 1, that means that it's been skinned to bones, and you notice over here is all grayed out, meaning locked out, meaning that you can't do anything to it. It does this automatically, locks it out. Because you'll probably wonder why that happened. So inputs, there's your skin, like I mentioned, inputs. And you mesh, that's just your display layer. Alright, so if I were to, you can carefully test it out, right? Click on the bone, and I can, I'm not gonna move it. You know what, I kind of don't want to. Chances are it'll be okay, but every once in a while when you do undo, it won't let you. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Screw it, I'll show it. So I turned off the X-ray. So you notice the shading, how awful it looks, right? Like I mentioned in class, and see, it's just so awful, you know? And that you'd have to do painting weights to undo it. Not undo it, but to flush this out and make it nice and smooth. Painting weights. And like I said in class, it takes forever when you're first learning, and there's a whole process to it. Entire process, very intricate and stress inducing. Yeah, and so basically we're gonna resolve that all with one click. Grab your mesh, we're gonna go deform, delta mush, just like in the letter R, the option box for it. Just change this to 40 iterations. Don't ask me why, it's just good to make it 40. Hit apply. I'm gonna, yeah, just hit apply. Good. That one was super fast. I didn't need to pause the video. Delta mush, remember? Okay. And here, when you select the mesh, you see here delta mush on top of the skin cluster. See, it's the order of operations. Skin cluster, then on top is your delta mush, which smooths it out. So if I were to press 4, grab a joint, if I were to test and rotate it, see? No issue. Like I mentioned in class, this alone saves you a good easily 10 to 12 hours when you have to factor in the learning curve, and when you have to factor in learning about the specifics on how to do it and watching tutorials. I mean, you do have to do some paint weighting for more advanced models like characters and stuff, but for what it's worth right now, for these letters, it's perfect. Especially when these letters are super heavy and dense. See, the more lines you have, the more paint weighting you have to do for the vertices. Each one of these stinking vertices you had to paint weights on, but not anymore. The only other thing I want to mention is that the Delta Mush, it does not work if you put the rig into a game engine. It will not, it's not going to acknowledge it from what I remember. So just it's good to know that. Anyway, so we did the Delta Mush. That's been applied. I'm going to turn on the controllers. I'm going to turn on the X-ray. I'm going to go into my front view. So that part's done. I'm going to just do an incremental save. I think, you know what? Maybe I'll just leave this video as a standalone, since you know, that part's done. It's a pretty important part. Leave it at what, 7 minutes, and the next video I'll go into constraining everything. I think that would be best bet. Yeah. Okay, bye.